One of the distinctives of the people called Methodist is our heritage of considering the whole picture. Following the lead of our founder, John Wesley, Methodist thought has often sought balance in areas of theology that are very often causing people to divide. So Methodists, for example, celebrate the grace of God without forgetting human responsibility and the call to good works. We celebrate justification without forgetting sanctification, and so on. One of the most notable balances Mr. Wesley brought to the church of his day was a concern for not only how one becomes Christian, as the Protestant church was so focused on, but also how one can be Christian each and every day. So today, Christians can still focus so much on one aspect of our faith that we forget other areas. It's not too uncommon for people to think the Christian faith is all about getting to heaven when we die. Now, eternity is vitally important to our faith, but our thoughts of the afterlife should not come at the expense of our lives right now. As Christians, we have a vocation to live out of right now, a calling right now. This overemphasis has even colored how we hear the term saved. Saved from what? Well, again, whenever we ask the question, are we saved? We often equate that with the idea of, are we going to heaven? Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not the whole picture by a long shot. Saved can mean many things, but we need to know what the Bible means when it uses this term. So the Bible often uses another term to help us understand what being saved is all about. That word is redeemed. Redemption was a very particular act in the Old Testament. To redeem was to give back all that was lost. Let me give you a couple examples. If someone was sold into slavery and another person paid a ransom to free the slave, that was called redemption. If someone was estranged from their family and had nowhere to go, and another person invited them into their home and gave them a place in the family, that was known as redemption. In other words, redemption was an act of giving back all that was lost to someone by some great tragedy. So when sin entered the world, we did not only lose access to eternal life, we lost a vocation of being God's people, His representatives, here and now. But if through Christ we're being redeemed, that means we're not just being saved for some life to come, that means we're being redeemed back to all that we lost. God is calling us back today to live as His representatives. This is why when Peter speaks of redemption in the New Testament, he suggests that because we're redeemed, we have to live differently. Hear his words. For you know that it is not with perishable things, such as silver or gold, that you were redeemed from the empty way of life handed down to you from your ancestors, but with the precious blood of Christ, a lamb without blemish or defect. 1 Peter 1:18 and 19. If I were to, let's say, set my house on fire and a fireman bursts through the door, scoops me up, takes me outside to safety, he saved me. But my life is worse off than before. My house is gone. What if the fireman, though, said that he wasn't done? He was going to build me a house better than the one I had before, and it cost me nothing. My life is now better off. Jesus' salvation saves us not just from death, but provides abundant life here and now, restored to live as His people in all that we do. So as we move forward in this series, we'll be asking the question, what should we do now that we are redeemed?